There's only two things in life that look good, feel good, smell good, and one of them is the automobile.
The unique part about this museum is that it's truly one man's vision. And the man was and is and always will be brilliant. And I have brought other significant collectors into the building to see the collection. And by the time they get to the last cars, they just turn to me and they say, "How did he do it?"
My hero in life was my dad. He was not only a car lover, but he was a physician as well. He was the son of immigrants, and he worked his way through medical school fixing cars. So by the time I could hold a wrench, we were working on cars together. He also gave me an appreciation of the fact that cars are something more than transportation, that they have inherent beauty and history, which I picked up early on. I then developed an interest, and when I had a few bucks, I would buy cars that I thought were significant. And then I started to have a sense of what turned me on and what I thought simultaneously was historic. The cars had now developed this iconic status, really, because of their importance. And the only way to keep them together, really, is to create a foundation. By creating a foundation, by essentially giving them away, it ensures, to a greater extent, their ability to stay in perpetuity.
Dr. Simeone, being a neurosurgeon, comes from a very academic background and was not just a wonderful surgeon, but also he was very involved in how the brain evolves and the evolution in DNA improves the breed. And he kind of took that thought and made it the overriding theme to the museum.
The theme is about the effects of competition on the development of an object, in this case the racing sports car. The evolution of the automobile is really a reflection of the industrial age. That this particular genre of automobile evolved because every year they had to win. Every year they had to be faster, smoother, safer, sleeker. And in that process, they also were made more exciting.
Dr. Simeone has personally explored every one of these cars. He knows every nut and bolt. He knows the complete background of every car, who raced in the car, who built the car.
The oldest is 1907. And the newest is 1975. Why does the collection stop there? We like to drive them, we like to demonstrate them, and every month we have demonstration days on a 3-acre blacktop we have in the back. Much past 1975, the really great racing cars can't be driven except on a track. So we stopped the collection at a point in time when we really can't drive the great cars, simply because they're too fast for our small facility. The most popular car depends on your audience. We have a car that has great history. It's a Cobra Daytona Coupe. That's because it set 23 records. There's another car we have, which is an unknown car called the Squire, which is just a beautiful, delicate, pretty baby blue car that all the women who come here fall in love with. Of course, we have a small NASCAR exhibit, and the NASCAR kids like the Plymouth Superbird with the big wing and the pointy nose. So popularity, like everything else in life, depends on the beholder. We have understood the paradigm, which I think comes from being a mature collector, that if this collection, this hobby, is to become a serious part of the art world, and I think these cars are now morphing into what we call rolling sculpture, then we should use some of the criteria that the rest of the art world uses. Foremost in the minds of 90% of collectors is to take the car apart, replace everything that isn't perfect, make it shiny, repaint it. Whenever we get a car, we preserve it, but we don't gussy it up and make it look fancy. We're fighting an uphill battle because, as I said, the vast majority of collectors and owners want perfection.
Gentlemen, we're going to have to rotate the car 180 degrees. The spirit of competition came about in Fred's head, I think, maybe 50 years ago. And what we did in the last year was bring it to print. And you see a really great evolution of how the cars started as virtual horseless carriages and wound up being, near the end of 1975, almost land-bound rocket ships.
The book project came about to show the world, maybe to convince myself, that for at least one point in time, this collection existed all in one place and told a message.
I've shot a lot of collections and I've worked with a lot of collectors from around the world, and no one is as thorough as Dr. Simeone. He has made it his life's work.